Awesome. Hey everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this video. It really does mean the world to me. And I seriously appreciate the fact that you are willing to give up a few minutes out of your day to watch my review. Guys, we're talking about Stranger Things Season 4, but before we jump into it, I just have to say, I am really sorry that I'm once again not in my normal studio. We are still in the process of moving all of my wife's stuff in, so everything is really up in the air. Like, I don't even want to show you the current state of where I will be filming my YouTube videos in the near future. But guys, it's coming so incredibly soon, and I'm very excited for you to see that studio. But jumping straight into Stranger Things, guys, I have to say, my biggest worry was that too much time had passed between season 3 and 4. And thankfully, that is not the case. I have enjoyed season 4 so much. Probably my second favorite season, behind only season 3, which to me is still peak Stranger Things. But of course, I was only ever given the first 4 episodes to watch as a pre-screener, because as you might know, Stranger Things season 4 is going to be split into 2 different volumes. And while you might be a little bit nervous thinking that there's only 4 episodes, I'm here to tell you that each episode is over an hour long. And if I'm not mistaken, episode 4 was about an hour and a half. So you're going to be getting a ton of Stranger Things, even with just the first half of season 4. But guys, before I carry on with this review, I just want to tell you a little bit about the Netflix Watch Club. The Netflix Watch Club will be hosting a watch party for Stranger Things season 4 on Cena.com, which is a virtual theater that allows us to watch all of our favorite movies and series online and together. Find them on Twitter, search for the Netflix Watch Club, and the links to the watch parties will be in their bio. Simply sign up and join us on the 27th at 6 p.m. Yes, but guys, let's jump straight into my review of Stranger Things Season 4. And I can tell you right now, don't worry, absolutely no spoilers. In fact, I'm going to tell you very little about the story, except for the fact that there is a slight time jump, and they've kind of essentially had to do this, not just from a narrative point of view, but because of one of the biggest letdowns in my opinion, which is the fact that the actors are so much older in this season. And while it's not inherently a bad thing, what is a bad thing is that they're still depicted as younger children. And of course, Millie Bobby Brown just celebrated her 18th birthday. So it was just a little bit disappointing to see how season 1, 2, and 3 had age-appropriate child actors, and now we're kind of in like that stereotypical situation where we have basically adults acting as children. That is one of the biggest letdowns for me. But in regards to the rest of the show, everything you loved about season 1, season 2, season 3 is present here in season 4. Stranger Things, I don't know how they do it, but they're always able to make every character so incredibly likable. And that's such a large part of the Stranger Things appeal. No matter what, every character is lovable, every character is enjoyable. There's a reason why even Billy, who was literally a jerk for the whole of season 2 and season 3, had such a massive backing, such a massive cult following, because people loved Billy as a character. And that continues in this season. I have to say, the Duffer Brothers do an absolutely phenomenal job of just making enjoyable, relatable, exciting characters. And I think that's definitely something that Netflix has to take into consideration. I mean, I watch everything that gets released on Netflix. Like, I honestly watch everything. And something that a lot of Netflix shows just miss the mark on is having likable lead characters. You have to enjoy the characters that you're watching. So we've gone through something bad, we've gone to something good. I'm going to say my final thing that I thought was lacking in this show, and I'm really hoping it's just because I was given a pre-screener. I wasn't given exactly the final release. I was just able to watch the first 4 episodes in kind of like a degraded state. It's in a much lower quality, and the issue I had was the sound mixing. Very often, the music or the backing track just overpowered what the characters were saying. And that was incredibly disappointing because, like, and I don't want to complain too much because the soundtracks are phenomenal. Season 4 of Stranger Things by far has the best library of catchy, awesome 80s music in my opinion. The issue I have with it is just that it overpowers what the actors are saying. But I'm really hoping it's just because I was given a pre-screener. And I know that sometimes when you are given a pre-screener, things do change in the editing process up until even release date itself. So I'm really hoping that is the case with this audio, because the first 3 seasons audio is perfect, no issues there. This was just overpowered, and I felt like they just left the backing levels just a little bit too high. So hopefully that is resorted and it's fixed, and maybe also just because I'm watching it in a much lower quality because it is a pre-screener. But guys, back onto good, and it's just good the rest of the way because I thoroughly loved this show. I thought it was incredible. Great comedy, great suspense. Honestly, this season leans into horror, I think, a lot more than the rest of the seasons. While of course the Demogorgon was scary, and of course we had the Demo Dogs and this giant spider thing in season 3, while they were all horror elements inside there, I never thought like, wow, this is a full-on horror. But if you watch Stranger Things season 4, you get straight up horror vibes mixed with The Conjuring, The Exorcist. You get serious horror vibes in there. And I have to say, my wife has particularly loved that part. She's a huge horror freak. And so us watching it together, we've really been able to enjoy the horrific elements of it, the suspenseful elements of it, the thriller elements of it. Something else that always gets me about Stranger Things. Now, Stranger Things is one of my favorite shows on Netflix, period. And I always get nervous on any show that I really love when they start to introduce new characters, because flip, like, what if they just don't work as well as the old characters? Why would you try to fix something that isn't broken? And so I get really nervous every time a show brings in new characters. There's a ton of new characters in season 4. Love all of them. And again, that goes back to my first point. The Duffer Brothers are just great at writing engaging, interesting characters. That's always been a highlight of Stranger Things. And then I think we're far past the point where we can expect bad CG from series, unless you're watching The Flash or Batgirl. But I have to say, remarkable special effects in this series. Absolutely phenomenal. Blew me away. It feels like you're watching a Hollywood movie. Like, incredibly engaging. When the supernatural happens, you are feeling like it's reality that you're watching. While there were a few scenes that kind of, I feel like the CGI could have been a little bit more, I feel like they could have pushed the limits a little bit more. It was never bad. It was never to the point where I was like, oh flip, that ruins my entire viewing experience. But look guys, at the end of the day, I can just sing this season's praises on and on and on. It was phenomenal. It was funny. It was engaging. Everything about it I loved. And so if you are a fan of Stranger Things, I would highly, highly recommend it, guys. Seriously, you do not want to miss out on this season. And on the flip side, if you haven't watched Stranger Things before, definitely start on season 1, okay? Because season 4 is not going to make any sense to you. But you have to start season 1 now, because you do not want to miss this season. But guys, thank you so much for watching my review. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, and enjoy the rest of your day. And before I log out, do not forget to check out the Netflix Watch Club. Guys, thank you so much.